time to watch. It's time to watch the Nicola and Mikey show. Wow, wow, wow. Sing along.
Welcome to this nonsensical episode where 5 people don't lose their voices. So that means 5 of the modern Bibles are evil because 5 people didn't lose their voices. Yep, that's what this is all about. How exciting!
Okay, welcome to part 6, everybody. From now on, we're going to tackle just one topic at a time. We're not going to go on to sidetracking. It's going to have more music written by moi, more special effects, more animations, more puppets. Because that's the reason I'm supposed to be doing this. I've been trying to finish these episodes off in a hurry, and I thought, that's not what this is all about. This is all about you learning to add in special effects and puppetry and stuff. So that's what this is all about. So we're only going to stick to one topic this video, and I'll probably start numbering them again. I think I'm up to 1200 videos now. So one topic, and the topic, luckily enough, so this is a reward for starting it this way, all anew, all fresh, cutting down to one topic. The reward for that is the stupidest conspiracy theory in existence. And that's the one that my keyboard keeps falling over. That 5 translators of modern Bibles were so evil that God took away their voices, that God cursed these Christian men for daring to create new updates to the Bible. The evilness of them all. How dare they? Oops. Action.
Have permanently lost their ability to speak. 5 and still counting.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, now what do you attribute that to? In other words, the person
I know the man that wrote the
he
Living Bible.
lost his voice.
Yes.
Right. Now, remember Zacharias. Zacharias was a godly man.
They're having this conversation. They are.
Zacharias was the father of John the Baptist. So this is not, street scum. This is the father of John the Baptist. When the
Are you saying Westcott and Hort is street scum, Gail?
angel appeared to him and said, you're going to have this son, and he didn't believe him. It says, because thou believest not my words. He lost his ability to speak. So when a Bible translator loses their ability to speak, that isn't saying...
When? Okay. When a Bible translator... Like, it happens all the time.
They're demonic, they're satanic, they sit around having seances.
Are they? Cool.
And things like this. I'm not, making this implication at all.
Yes you are. I've got your book, remember? You can lie on TV, but you can't lie in your book.
I'm just saying, thou believest not my words. We have to have a final authority. When we have 5 or 6 different translations, and the pastor's reading for one, everyone has a different one, there's confusion, and God is not the author of confusion. And it loses, the Word of God loses its power that way. What is Satan's device? It says, we're not ignorant of his devices. Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the Word, lest they should believe and be saved. That's his device. He takes away the Word. He comes immediately and he tries to take away the Word. And so when you ask, what does he do? He takes away. And that's why the new versions have something taken away from them.
Do people memorize?
That's about all we'll get on the subject of God taking away people's voices for being so evil that they dare to translate his Bible from the King James Version. Not much you can find on the internet these days. This is 2020. This conspiracy theory died probably 110 years ago. Anyway, so I've got the book here. So, oops, my bookmarks just fell out. So, according to her, the New American Standard Version, actually go back one, Kenneth Taylor from the Living Bible lost his voice because he was evil and demonic, and God cursed him. In New American Standard Version, it was Philip Scaff that lost his voice because he was so evil that he dared to translate the Bible or have some sort of part with it. Number 3 was Tregelles, S.P. Tregelles, author of a new Greek text which influenced the Westcott and Hort. Oh, there's somebody I need to study. Okay, Tregelles. I don't know much about him. And now Westcott and Hort themselves. Why not pick on them directly? Westcott's biographer cites that in 1858 he was quite inaudible, and by 1870 his voice reached few and was understood by still fewer, because he dared to write the Greek New Testament. How dare you! God will curse you. J.B. Phillips translation, New Testament Modern English. J.B. Phillips himself lost his voice. And that's all 5. How many we got? 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Westcott. And 5 is J.B. Phillips. Okay. So I'll knock a couple out myself. The first one, number 1, Kenneth Taylor. He had a stroke in real life, not in Gail Riplinger's imaginary fairy tale land. So yeah, he lost his voice because he couldn't speak because he'd had a stroke. Thank you for picking on someone, Gail, that had a stroke. You don't have to attack people with full health. You can attack them when they've had a stroke. And number 5, he suffered from depression, J.B. Phillips. That's why there's so many Christian conspiracy theories about J.B. Phillips's translation, because he suffered from depression. I'll read what she's written here, but this is sick. This is disgusting. The dumb spirit, meaning the spirit that took away his voice, may plague its host with an accompanying lunacy. So she's calling J.B. Phillips a lunatic. She's very polite. Yeah, very, very Christian-like. J.B. Phillips' necromancy and the dumb spirit it generated harassed Phillips with lifelong bouts of insanity. And I've put here in the margin, depression is not insanity, you're insane. Gail, you're insane. Any like mainstream Christianity, this is 1991 we're talking about, clearly assume that mental health, so Down syndrome, epilepsy, PTSD, anxiety, depression, anorexia, all of that stuff is caused by demons. So this is what Christians believed in the 90s. I doubt if today in 2020 much has changed. I went to church with a guy who had epilepsy. He had a fit in the car park, and they were too busy laying their hands and praying it away in the name of Jesus for the ambulance to. They had to, push them aside. Excuse me, we need to get to the patient. It's okay. He's full of demons. Once we cast him out, he'll be okay. We don't lead you. Yeah. So, wow, yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. The whole industry of Christianity is a mess. Industry because they make money by preaching about a mythological God that created the world in 4004 BC. Where's your book? Where's Cold Case gone? October the 6th, 4004 BC. Anywho, so we're going to knock out the main one using the words of David Cloud himself. David Cloud is a staunch King James Version onlyist that was attacked, dared to question the great Gail Riplinger, and therefore she went nuts on his ass. She went full Carol on him. Wow, that relationship kind of, it wasn't a relationship, their friendship or the fact that they belonged to the same cult, just wow. It was just wow. In cult within cult, bickering and fighting. Well, I grew up on that, so I know all about it. So, David Cloud himself says, Westcott's biography cites that in 1858 he was quite inaudible, and by 1870 his voice reached few and was understood by still fewer. Riplinger uses this quote to support her claim that Westcott lost his voice and sees that as a judgment of God for tampering with the Bible. How dare he! Sorry, the dude that does the Karen voice. I'm not trying to rip you off. The fact is that Westcott did not lose his voice. Riplinger cites Volume 1 of the Life Letters of Brooke Foss Westcott, and it's here on archive.org. This is the book. Or you can buy it in print form for around $20 if you want to become a Westcott and Hawke groupie. It's free if you don't. Okay. Where was I? Sorry. The first quote is from a statement about how that Westcott, as a young student, disliked public speaking. He took his turn of preaching in chapel, but he dreaded and disliked the duty, and he was quite inaudible to many of the boys because he didn't speak very loud. There is nothing here about Westcott losing his voice. The second of Riplinger's quotes is taken from a letter from a Dr. Butler, who said that Westcott, when he was 35 years old and teaching at Harrow, still had a weak public speaking voice. His voice was not yet a force in the chapel, and here's the actual quote from Life and Letters of... Did she get it right this time? Yeah, Westcott. And it is actually Westcott. Sometimes she says it's Hort, it's Westcott. So if she says it's Westcott, it's Hort. So very, very hard to find anything referred to at all. I mean, there's like millions of footnotes, and all with footnotes, but finding the original material she stole those words from it's easier to win lotto 10 times in a row. Right, so he took his turn of preaching in chapel, but he dreaded and disliked the duty. He was quite inaudible to many of the boys. We knew all the same that his were no common sermons. It has been truly said the sentences were closely packed with meaning, and the meaning was not always easy. His own pupils, or to sixth form fellows who went to him with composition, the visits to his beautiful study at the Butts, where he lived for some years, were a great delight, and they acted on us like a tonic. So this evil guy who dared to publish the Greek New Testament in 1881, God cursed him but didn't curse him. Wow. To my mind, it also casts some doubt in the King James Version only version of the incident on the 95 John Ankerberg show, the one that we're going to do after this Action 60 series, where Tex Mars and other King James Version only has claimed the NSB translator Dr. Wilson's temporarily lost his voice. However, the video exchange at YouTube that I posted earlier proves that wrong. And the whole series is up on YouTube. You can see the incident, watch it as many times as you want. Even though the incident is on YouTube, like a flat earther, they say that there was a version that was unedited, and the one on YouTube has been edited to make it not happen. It's good flat earth logic there. So that's the 5 voices. Well, that's 6 if you include the new guy, Dr. Wilkins. It's like behind the NASB, wasn't it? And yeah, he's just brilliant. He's got a brilliant mind. Speaks Latin, Greek, Hebrew, the whole shebang. one of my heroes. Yeah. So that's it. That's this episode done and over and done with. 5 people that never lost their voice prove that the modern versions of the Bible are satanic because 5 people never lost their voices. That is the logic of the great Riplinger. Bye. Next episode. What's the next episode?
It's the new versions like they did the King James.
Well, you know,
They do it.
That's a very interesting question. I spoke at a Christian school recently, and I was talking to them about this, and they communicated to me the exact same thing that you're saying. Students cannot memorize the NIV.
That's right.
Oh, that's pointless. Students can't memorize the NIV, even though I did when I was 16 years old. Wow, that's a point that I can debunk from my childhood. Okay, next episode is whatever. Anything that is concrete and not just wishy-washy will be the next episode. Stay tuned. Bye. 5 have lost their voice. 5 have lost their voice 'cause they did. How could they dare to take the words of old manuscripts, then update the Bible with these words? Well, they're so evil that God took their voices away today. So sad.